Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to the chemistry class. And today we'll start the group 17 elements from chlorine gas. Okay. Last day we have discussed the reaction of this halogen with oxygen. So today we'll start from chlorine. Actually, we are following the reduced syllabus. All things, okay, whatever given in your book, okay, I am not discussing here. Only we are following your reduced syllabus. Okay, so chlorine preparation is very important for your exam purpose. So chlorine can be prepared by the oxidation of concentrated hydrochloric acid with different strong oxidizing agent. We can use manganese dioxide, we can use potassium dichromate, we can use lead dioxide, we can use potassium permanganate. Okay, even bleaching powder can be used, okay, for preparation of chlorine gas. So first we are writing that, I think already you have done in laboratory also, that MnO2 when it is reacting with concentrated HCl, okay, you have to apply heat, then it will form chlorine gas, and there will be formation of MnCl2, manganese chloride, and there will be formation of water. Now here you have to put 2 and here you have to put 4. Now I think it is balanced. Okay. And we can use lead dioxide in the same way. PbO2 will also react. PbO2 will also react with this 4HCl concentrated. Okay. And it will form chlorine gas, and that will form PbCl2, that will form twice H2. Okay. And next we will discuss the reaction with KMnO4. Okay, when you are taking KMnO4, potassium permanganate, then definitely it will react with HCl. Okay, that will produce chlorine gas. There will be formation of manganese chloride. There will be formation of potassium chloride, and there will be formation of water. Okay. Now you have to balance this equation. Okay, so balancing this equation, you have to remember that here we have to put 2 and here 16, otherwise it will take too much time. Okay, now here hydrogen, 16 hydrogen, here you put 8, and potassium here you have to put 2, and manganese you have to put 2, and now total number of chlorine you have taken 4 plus 2, 6, and here it is 16. Okay, so here will be 5Cl2. So this is your balanced equation. Okay, but in the laboratory, okay, chlorine gas can be prepared from manganese dioxide, sodium chloride, and concentrated sulfuric acid. So here from sodium chloride we are getting this chlorine and manganese dioxide using as oxidizing agent. So what we have to do, we have to take finely powdered of manganese dioxide and sodium chloride. Okay, and the ratio of this mixture will be 1:1, and you have to take in a round bottom flask. Concentrated sulfuric acid will be added, okay, drop by drop from a dropping funnel inside this flask, and you have to heat the mixture, then chlorine gas will be evolved. Okay, being heavier than air, this chlorine gas is collected by the upward displacement of air. So what reaction is going on here, that you have to understand. So NaCl is reacting with MnO2, and we are taking concentrated sulfuric acid, and from here you will get manganese chloride, you will get chlorine gas. Okay, then you will get manganese chloride you will not get, I think manganese sulfate you will get, manganese sulfate plus you will get chlorine gas, then you will get sodium bisulfate, NaHSO4, plus there will be formation of water. Okay, that products you have to remember. Okay, now you have to balance this equation. Okay, if you put 2 here, and the hydrogen will be required, okay, here 3. Now this one MnSO4, and here you have to put 2, and total hydrogen as here is 3 into 6, so here you have to put 3. Now I think this is balanced. 4 into 3, 12 plus 2, 14. Here 4. 3 into 4, 12 plus 2, 14. And here 4, 8, 16. This coming 16. So here 2 hydrogen is there. So you have to put 2 here. Now it is coming okay. Now it is okay. Now it is balanced equation. Okay. Now here what you are observing, that from NaCl you are getting that chlorine gas. Okay. As well as there will be water vapor, as well as there may be some amount of hydrochloric acid gas also may produce, because NaCl you are adding H2SO4. Okay, that we are not showing here, but HCl will produce. Okay, so the gas coming out is mixed with hydrochloric acid gas, water vapor. Okay, so hydrochloric gas, hydrogen chloride gas you have to remove by bubbling the gas through water. Okay, chlorine very little amount will react with water, there will be formation of HCl. Okay, that is different, but chlorine gas will come out from the water and HCl will be dissolved. And another thing that to remove the water vapor, you have to pass this chlorine gas through concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, so you know that concentrated sulfuric acid is a what? Concentrated sulfuric acid is a strong agent. Okay, that means dehydrating agent that will absorb the moisture. Okay, next we will discuss the chemical properties. So only few reactions are there in your syllabus, that is reaction of chlorine with hydrogen sulfide, reaction of chlorine with ammonia gases, and reaction with chlorine with metal as well as alkalis. Okay, that we will discuss. So first we will discuss the reaction of chlorine with H2S. Chlorine is a very good oxidizing agent. It oxidizes hydrogen sulfide to sulfur. So chlorine is reacting with H2S, forming sulfur, and there will be formation of HCl. Hope you can understand. So chlorine here what state? 0 state, and here chlorine -1. So there is reduction, and sulfur it is -2 state and it is 0 state. So definitely it oxidizes. Okay, chlorine oxidizes hydrogen sulfide to sulfur. Next, action of ammonia. So two cases will be there. Already you have learned in class 10 that we can take excess ammonia. When we are taking ammonia excess, then the products will be ammonium chloride. Okay, plus there will be formation of nitrogen. Hope you can understand. Now you have to balance this equation. Here you have to put 8 NH3, and then here you have to put 6, and I have 3 Cl2, and I think nitrogen is balanced. Okay, so here we are using excess ammonia, so you will get ammonium chloride, okay, and nitrogen. But if you take excess chlorine, so NH3 is reacting with Cl2, forming a yellowish liquid. Okay, yellow color liquid is an explosive nitrogen trichloride, as well as there will be formation of HCl. So now you have to balance this equation. Here if we put 3 HCl, then 3 3 6, here you have to put 3. Now hydrogen is balanced, nitrogen is balanced, all things all are balanced. Okay, so here we are taking chlorine gas excess. So you will get that a yellow color liquid, that is nitrogen trichloride, it is explosive. Okay, as well as you will get HCl gas. So this is the reaction of chlorine with ammonia gas. Next we will discuss reaction with alkali like sodium hydroxide. Two conditions here we have to know. One is in cold condition we are adding dilute alkali in NaOH. Okay, another is in hot condition. So first chlorine will react with NaOH in cold condition. In cold condition it will produce NaCl plus NaClO plus there will be formation of H2O. Okay. Now here this is not balanced. Here you have to put 2 here. Both chlorine is same, sodium is also same, hydrogen is also okay. Okay. So this is the reaction in cold condition. Okay. And whenever you are taking that hot condition or doing this reaction of chlorine with NaOH in hot condition plus NaOH, you are heating this. Okay. Then there will be formation of NaOCl plus NaClO3 plus there will be water. Hope you can understand. Now you have to balance this equation. Okay. So here you have to take that thrice Cl2 and 6 NaOH. Then the NaOCl will form. Okay. Sorry. Here it will be NaCl, not NaOCl. NaCl. NaCl plus NaClO3. Okay. So NaCl will be 5 NaCl plus NaClO3 plus there will be formation of 3H2. Now it is balanced. 6 hydrogen, oxygen 6, oxygen 3 plus 3 6. Okay. So in the first case we are getting NaOCl or NaClO, and in the second case hot condition we are getting that NaClO3. Okay. Now this reaction you see one thing, that here chlorine 0 state and here we are getting chlorine -1 state. So this is reduction, and here chlorine 0 state, in this case chlorine is +5 state. So here oxidation. Okay, same substance reduced as well as oxidized. Okay, so this is called the disproportionation reaction. So this reaction is an example of disproportionation reaction in which oxidation of chlorine changes from 0 to -1 and another case 0 to +5. Okay, next we will discuss the reaction with metals. Okay, actually all metals, okay, that means reactive metals, they will react with the chlorine and they will give the corresponding chloride. You can take sodium. So sodium will react with chlorine gas forming twice NaCl. Okay, you can take other metal, like you can take less reactive iron. So iron will also react with this chlorine and there will be formation of ferric chloride, FeCl3. So here you have to write twice Fe, thrice Cl2, twice FeCl3. Okay, and tin will react with chlorine forming HnCl2. Okay, and definitely calcium, aluminium, all will react with chlorine and forming that AlCl3. In case of calcium it will form CaCl2. So the reaction of chlorine gas with metal is also very important, okay, for your exam purpose. That also you have to read. Okay, next we will discuss interhalogen compounds. Interhalogen now, compounds which contain 2 or more different halogen atoms are called interhalogen compound. Okay, their general formula is X dot N. Okay, N may be 1, 3, 5, 7. So first type will be the XX type. Okay, and XX type, these are actually the diatomic molecule. Okay, and example we can give like CLF, BRCl. Okay, we can give ICl, IBr, this type of compounds. Okay, their shape is linear. Okay, And next another type of compound, that will be X3 dot, and this type of compound we can tell like ClF3. Okay, ClF3 will be this type of compound. We can think about IF3, BRF3. So these are the X3 type of compound. Okay, next another this type of compound, if I tell their shape, later I will discuss. Okay, after this. Then another type of compound will be X5 dot. Here we can give the example like ClF5, BRF5. Okay, next another we can give example that IF5, and next another type of compound XX7 dot. Okay, and in this type of compound we can give the example IF7. So next in your syllabus, actually these compounds structure, hybridization and shape is there. All interhalogen compounds XX dot type, okay, have linear shape because they are diatomic. Interhalogen compounds of the type that XX3 dot, okay, they involve sp3d hybridization of the central atom, where two of the hybrid orbitals are occupied by the lone pairs. Hence these molecules have trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Like we can tell ClF3 is T-shaped. Okay, already in class 11 you have drawn this thing, the structure of ClF3. sp3d hybridization, sp3d hybridization. Okay, and two corner of this trigonal bipyramidal occupied by lone pair. Okay, so the compound will be T-shaped. Hope you can understand. Next we will discuss that ICl3. ICl3 actually does not exist. Okay, as it exists as dimer. Okay, and it has a planar structure. If I draw the structure, then you can easily understand. And this is the structure of I2Cl6. Okay, so ICl3 exists as dimer. Okay, and the structure is planar. Next we will go to the IF5. In case of IF5, the hybridization will be sp3d2. Okay, so its structure should be octahedral, but one equatorial position is occupied by lone pair. So that is why it has distorted octahedral geometry, and IF7 is square pyramidal geometry. Sorry, IF5 is square pyramidal geometry. This is IF5. One corner occupied by lone pair. Okay, so this one square has square pyramidal geometry. Next we will go to the IF7. IF7 hybridization will be sp3d3. Okay, and its shape will be pentagonal bipyramidal. So this is pentagonal bipyramidal. Okay. Next another that ionic compound, that also you have to read, like I3 minus. I3 minus will be the sp3d hybridization having, and it will be linear shape because the three equatorial position of this hybrid orbital, okay, it will be occupied by lone pair. So I3 minus is linear. Then if we think about ICl4 minus, it will be sp3d2 hybridization and it will be square planar. Okay, the axial position will be occupied by lone pair of electrons. So in this way we have completed the discussion of group 17 elements, and in my next class, okay, we will discuss the last part of this P block elements, that is the 0. So today up to this, thank you.